Very excited to be joined by some very special guests in our ON Everyday studio. August 22nd is Burgers to Beat MS Day. If you've been watching the show over the last couple of weeks, you've heard about us talking it up, hyping it up. We're very excited that we're going to be on location at an A&W tomorrow, eating some delicious teen burgers. And of course, Burgers to Beat MS Day, $2 from every teen burger sold goes towards MS Canada. Very excited to be joined by Susan Senecal from A&W Canada and Pam Valentine from MS Canada. And why don't I start with you, Pam, and everything that goes into this day to support MS Canada. Maybe just give me a little bit of an overview of what MS Canada does and what these funds help.
Yeah, so we really do a lot of things in the community for people who are living with MS. We provide really good information if somebody wants to know what to expect or has a question about the disease. And then we fund research. So we try and find the next best treatment that's available and start to unpack the complexities of this disease so that eventually we're going to be able to say MS is no longer a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, teen burgers, obviously a very delicious way to raise money for these charities. Susan, I'll go to you down at the end. What does this partnership mean for A&W Canada in particular?
Well, we often refer to MS as Canada's disease. The rate of MS in Canada is higher than almost any other place in the world. And so being a Canadian company, our franchisees within their communities, it seemed really, really relevant for us to support a cause like this. And we do it together. And our franchisees couldn't be more excited about the day, about August 22nd, about the difference that we're making. Pam referenced some of that, and that's what makes it so exciting and such a together day. So we're very excited about tomorrow.
Very important question as well is how do you take your teen burgers?
Well, I'm a classic gal. So I like the recipe just the way it is. But recently I started to enjoy them as a lettuce wrap too. Ooh. And so, yeah, the lettuce wrap teen burger, it's become one of my new faves.
So I set an ambitious quota for how many teen burgers I'm going to have tomorrow. And that's a hack.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, does that change your number a little bit?
Well, it actually reinforces my number, actually.
What's your number?
I think I was 21.
Yeah, you said you could eat 21 in a day.
In a day, a full course day.
Okay.
24-hour clock.
Well, that's the thing. You got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You got the multiple snacks in between each meal. You got the late night snack. Yeah. Well, now you go wrap. It's almost a certainty.
Couldn't be. Pam, how do you take your teen burgers?
I like the lettuce wrap as well, but sometimes I swap out the regular burger for the Beyond burger.
Oh.
Still a teen burger.
So no matter how people get it done tomorrow, though, $2 still. If it's a lettuce wrap, Beyond Meat, whatever it is.
100%.
Every teen burger sold, whatever style people want, $2 to MS Canada.
No onions for me, Tyler, if you're wondering.
No onions?
Teen burger, no onions.
Teen burger, no onions. All right. So you don't just go the classic way. Just back to the A&W side of this as well. The burgers, I don't want to use the word easy because I think that throws a weird connotation into it. But getting people to buy burgers for charity is, a great way to do it. What are some other reasons why you think this partnership has been so successful between the two sides?
I think one thing is big connections. And so A&W, we have restaurants in every large and small community across the country. And there are people with MS whose life has been touched by MS in every single community. And making those connections, it's been very, very meaningful for our staff as well. And almost everyone that I've met that has recently been more involved with MS has discovered someone in their entourage, that they didn't know about. And so there's some real connectivity, some real relevance and some relatability, I think, to that, which makes a big difference. And also, as Pam said, the progress has been quite quick. We always wish we could press the fast forward button, but there's been enormous advances through the research that we help fund. And that makes a big difference, too, because there's great stories to talk about and great advances to recognize and celebrate.
This is year 16 of Burgers to Beat MS, which is pretty wild. What are some of the advancements or way this has kind of grown from your guys' perspective that has allowed it to be propelled forward the way it has?
Yeah, it started with one community in Canada. And when I think about the 16 years that we've been partners together, we've gone from having 3 disease-modifying therapies or drugs available to now count in the States, 21 or 22 available treatments. And the progress that's meant for people who are living with this disease has dropped the mortality by 30% and has offset disability by more than 10 years. So we're making enormous progress, and we're super excited for where we're going to be 16 years from now.
What are some of the next stages, I suppose, of the research and the development of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, well, when I think about sort of the scientific forefronts, we know that there's a lot of activity that's being done to figure out how to repair or restore function for people. And then there's an opportunity around preventing the disease from happening in the first place. We know a little bit more about the risk factors that cause the disease. And so we think we're going to be able to have targeted strategies to be able to prevent the disease from happening.
Collectively, and I'm sorry for interjecting here. Well, just hearing this, you must be so proud.
Yeah.
Like these last 16 years, like this is legit insane progress. Like there's, the steps and advancement, and everyone knows, like it's sad to say, like everyone knows there's been in their networks someone that has MS, and you see how it's different for them versus someone maybe 15, 20 years ago. And it's insane. And obviously this has been an amazing partnership and help driving all this, but like you're seeing real results,
Legit.
which is like transformational results.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, we are.
Like I needed another reason to eat a team burger, but I am in.
And I think, when we think about the MS research community here in Canada that this has helped to support, they're world class. We're bringing the best minds together all the time to try and get the answers to the next questions that we need to drive to.
I want to talk a little bit about why you're both here in Edmonton now. What's allowed Edmonton to sort of stand up a little bit as the hub for Burgers to Beat MS?
Well, Edmonton's just a great A&W market to begin with. People love their teen burgers. People love A&W. And so we had that natural affinity. But on top of that, I think we've got franchisees here who are super involved in the community, who really take to heart their responsibility as a business in the community. And then our guests just come to the party. So that's been amazing. And Edmonton, just on its own as a region, has raised over $2 million towards that total of $20 million, which is an incredible result. So we wanted to recognize that milestone with all of the people that helped make it happen.
I don't like pumping your tires all that much, but as a guy who is all over the city of Edmonton,
I'm 1 million of that 2 million.
Yeah. How does that make you feel that Edmonton's kind of the hub for this?
It's not surprising, let alone like Edmonton on it that just takes care of its own, right? And obviously MS is very pronounced in Edmonton, just like it is across Canada. So it's not a shocker when you hear kind of milestone events like that, and the fact that we support Edmonton always steps up. But once again, like it's hard to not go on a road trip and not have a team burger, and it's hard not to just at home order a team burger or go and get a team burger. Like it's also just really good and fits within kind of our culinary DNA. But I'm not surprised. Edmonton is full of champions. They show up every time. We did a similar thing, and sorry to switch topics, but I have to bring it up because it just champions Edmonton. We did this fundraiser t-shirt for Jasper, and that was a terrible event, and blown away. We thought we would sell 500 shirts and we sold 3,000. Like it's Jasper was part of our community. That's our backyard. Edmonton shows up. Edmonton supports great causes like the MS Society.
And yeah, MS Society has felt the love from Edmonton as well, right?
100%. Yeah. As a former Edmontonian.
Well, come back.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Well, you're here now. That's good. It's always good to visit.
Do you guys have any, when the day happens, I'm sure it's an absolute whirlwind for the two of you, but are there maybe some certain specific parts of it that always stand out from you year to year? Some memories of the day in the past? I'll go to you, Susan.
Well, the generosity is where it really stands out for me. Sometimes you said it's easy. In some ways it is easy once people know what it is, people know that they can make a difference. I'm always blown away by the people that just come up and say, hey, I want to do something. What can I do? And that not only money is important and funds are important for research, but also just talking about it and, maybe supporting a friend or supporting someone that they know and bringing a conversation to life that wouldn't otherwise exist. That's what really gets me almost teary-eyed when you see how people are stopping what they're doing, which is just basically they're there to have lunch and actually getting involved and engaged.
What about you, Pam?
What's really amazing to me is when we're out in the community on the day, the number of people that are living with MS or have a family member that are living with MS that come up to me and say, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're showing up for the community. We feel the love. And I think that's really, really important.
Yeah, no doubt. Very excited to be a little part of it. Tomorrow, we're going to be live on location, like I said, out at the Windermere A&W for Burgers to Beat MS Day. And Jay, in the 1 hour show, how many are you going to try to put back?
Well, I owe this to the audience. I'm trying to hit 21. I'd love to say a big number, but I owe a good show.
That's
so
fair as well.
I'm going to say 3.
Okay.
Still ambitious.
During the show.
During the
One every
show,
20
I will
minutes,
not
yeah.
be eating on mic.
We don't do commercial breaks though, so you're gonna have to be riding the mute button.
I'll go for a little walk to go pick up another team burger, but it's hard for me not to anyways.
For the MS Society, how much does this stand out in your year of events? I don't know if there is like a nail on it answer, but is this kind of one of the tentpole ones?
Yeah, I mean, and if you ask the entire organization, all the staff, all the volunteers, they all have it marked in their calendar. It's so much fun.
And a lot of Canadians and Edmontonians do as well. Pam, Susan, can't thank you guys enough for swinging by, and we're excited to get to work with you guys tomorrow and be a part of the day.
We're excited too. Thank you.
Thank you.